West Coast, it's a perfect day for some entertainment out on the water. This is the Liquid Molly ProWatercross World Championship. It's been a challenging year with a lot of ups and downs, an abbreviated season, but we are here today about to crown a world champion, and this is how we got here. Take a look.
I mean, it's just an amazing beach. I mean, look at the beach. White sand, clean, nice. Panama City Beach is always a great place to go to, and having Sharkies right here in our backyard just makes it that much more enjoyable.
So being able to come race in Panama, honestly, you can't beat this weather. Like, the ocean's insane, the beaches, Florida, you know. So it's a great venue. You know, it's great to be racing this right after the whole COVID-19 deal. And this is like the first watercraft race in the whole world that's run again. So, you know, we're super happy to make the trip down here. I definitely love racing Florida. The conditions always rough. The water's warm, beaches, you can't beat it.
I really like that it's so green, and you know, I mean, it's a really nice place, quiet to come a little bit away from the city. So Lake Hartwell's awesome.
I love Lake Hartwell because it is one of the biggest lakes in the southeast United States, and it's all around just a beautiful place and really fun to race on.
It's a perfect race site, close to the water, fresh water, a big part, and keeping the boats clean, and everything runs good in the fresh water, and flat water. I like running in flat water.
Such a nice lake, and it's close to my house. I only live 2 hours away, so it's easy for me to get here. And every time I've been here, I've always enjoyed my time.
When I heard the ProWatercross was coming here, I was super stoked because literally I used to live 2 houses down from where we're standing right now, and like I would come home from work, get my CJ7 and drive out here and launch my stand-up and jump waves every day. So you know, this is where it all started for me.
Well, this is our first time here in St. Augustine, Florida, but honestly, this is one of the coolest venues. Historic downtown, which is really nice to go out with your family to dinner and take your kids to the fort and see some of that stuff that we don't normally get to when we go racing. But then also, the beach we have here is probably one of the best beaches we've been at. The surf was awesome. I mean, you really couldn't have asked for a better race site than here in St. Augustine, Florida.
That's how we got here, but for a closer look on what we can expect today, let's take it up to the experts. Kurt and Rick.
Thanks, Eileen. Well, Rick, we saw a lot of great racing yesterday, but it's the pro show today. I'm looking for some spectacular action. Ski class, who are you looking for?
Well, it's loaded, and what's happened this year in the ProWatercross Tour, the emergence of what we call the young guns, young kids have moved up out of the junior classes into the pro division, and they are starting to dominate across all the divisions in ProWatercross. But there's a man from Epinyani, South Africa, Dustin Matsuris, a multi-time national world champion, that's going to have a lot to say about that. He has been the rider this year in ProWatercross and Ski GP.
When we switch over to Runabout, Chris McCluggage, the Mac Attack, is coming back. Arminio Iantosca, he's here with a couple of seaters. Interesting to see what he's going to ride. Brian Baldwin, and the list just goes on and on. It's going to be an exciting weekend. I can't even wait. Let's start now. Yeah, and they've had, historically, some phenomenal races.
Yes,
We're looking for one more like that.
Can't wait.
All right.
Let's take a look at some of the classes we're going to feature today. First up, we have the Pro Ski GP. These are the stand-up watercrafts that reach speeds up to 75 miles per hour. Next up, the Pro Runabout Box Stock. These boats are straight out of the box, zero modifications, and you can basically buy this at your local dealer. Lastly, the Sport Stock. If you're wondering what it's like out there, hang on. Let's take a closer look at the Find It Now GPS Security Alert, Locate, Recover lap of the day.
All right, we're on board the GP ski with David Cabrera. He bolts out of the starting line and heads into the first turn behind a couple of riders. You can see right here, going to make a left-hand turn. This is a left-hand race course. They negotiate around the first turn. This is the most critical part of the race. The first turn is where a lot of bad things can happen or good things. In this case, David gets a clean start. He's got a couple riders in front of him. Then they go into a series of left-hand and right-hand turns, kind of a slalom section. He'll make this left-hand turn and onto the front straightaway.
As they go down the front straightaway, they will pass the start-finish line, head to the left, they'll make a right, another left, and come up to the log jump, the great equalizer. As they go up and over the log jump, there'll be a right, left, and once again, they need to make a decision which portion of the split course are they going to go, inside or outside. Cabrera makes a decision. He's going outside. Cabrera wide open. Chose the outside. Not as tight a turns. Can keep that speed up on the back straightaways. You see him going wide open. He'll make the turn and head on back through the second portion of the split course. So he makes his way down to the front straightaway. That hard left-hand turn. Wide open, right and left, and in front of the grandstands as he makes his way down past the start-finish line. That is the lap of the day.
Coming up next, we're going to crown the Liqui World Champion, and still ahead, you're going to see the most dynamic stunts you can do on a body of water, the freestyle competition.
Liqui Pro Watercross World Championship presented by Broward Motorsports on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Florida's Paradise Coast Naples, Marco Island Everglades. By Liqui, maintain your passion. And by Broward Motorsports, you gotta ride.
Now that I think about it, man, it really been a minute since I had the time to sit and reminisce about the evil thoughts I had. Felt that I've been mentioned, a penny for my thoughts, and you treat it like tuition. If we knew that it cost, we never paid attention. You do it cause you dropped, not for my best interest. I'm just a client loss, and fight aside the end at the end, and all in all, I don't need this intervention.
Welcome back to Naples, Florida, the Paradise Coast, where we bring you coverage for the 2020 Liqui Pro Watercross World Championship at Sutton Regional Park. It's now time for the final moto for the Pro Runabout box stock. Let's take it up to the booth. Kurt and Rick.
Right after Runabout box stock, boy, Chris McCluggage re-emerging here today. Really good to see him out here, the multi-time world and national champion, one of the great riders in the sport. And you kind of have to look at him and go, man, this guy is the guy to beat.
As I look down, the number 4 of Arminio Iantasca, he's the current reigning champion. How can you not go with him?
Here we go, 502 Brian Baldwin on the inside. Keep an eye on Baldwin, keep an eye on Iantasca.
Tori Snyder. Tori Snyder got a shot on the outside. Baldwin got a drive on the inside. This is...
All right, here we go. On the inside, number 30.
Oh, no. Tori getting wide. That buoy moved. Tori Snyder going to come out with some speed, but that is our Kuwaiti rider who finished second, is taking the hole shot. That is the Broward Motorsports hole shot. Rashad Alduas out in front and charging. Oh, they go sideways.
Great start by the Kuwaiti, as he is out in front and leading it down the back straightaway right now.
There was a little incident over there that pushed everybody back behind him.
We'll check the numbers as they come around. As the rain has subsided here in Naples, Troy Runabout box stock on the gas. And his Alloway's out in front. That is McCluggage in second. Iantasca in third, Snyder in fourth, and Brian Baldwin 502.
Wow, it was a little gone upside down, Rick.
Well, this is going to make for some good racing. Unfortunately for Brian, it's a stroke of luck for us because we get to see Brian Baldwin charge through the pack now.
So Rashid Aldawas, our Kuwaiti rider out of Kuwait City, doing a phenomenal job. He's out in front of multi-time world champions and national champions, Arminio Iantasca, Chris McCluggage, a stacked field. The young man from Kuwaiti pushing hard. He's got a drive going. He's got, I'm going to say about a 22 boat length lead over Chris McCluggage.
Yeah, the 21-year-old out of Kuwait has one of the greatest riders in the history of the sport behind him right now, and that's got to feel pretty good on that Yamaha. Man, I'll tell you what, that is very, very impressive. The start and the drive by the Kuwaiti is impressive today, keeping McCluggage, Iantasca, Torrey Snyder, and Baldwin behind him right now. What a race.
Absolutely spectacular. You know what else is kind of crazy? Chris McCluggage at 46 or 47 years old. This guy's less than half his age, and he's pushing him hard.
Absolutely.
All right, McCluggage coming down the front straightaway. He is chasing him down. Aldawas has the lead. He's going to start to catch up to some lap traffic, and that's where Chris McCluggage's experience comes to play, Rick.
502 Brian Baldwin back in 5th right now. Amazing to see that, but right now it is all number 30, the Kuwaiti out in front, looking over his shoulder, getting a little glimpse of McCluggage, and you probably don't want to do that. I would stay away from looking back when you got 46 on the gas behind you. So number 30, Aldawas out in front and leading this thing. Amazing ride so far by the young Kuwaiti, and the 21-year-old has got the legend, Chris McCluggage, now closing the gap ever so slightly each lap.
And when we come back, we'll finish the Runabout box stop on the Lake Wamali Pro Watercross World Championship. Welcome back to Naples, Florida, the Paradise Coast, where we bring you wall-to-wall coverage at the Lake Wamali Pro Watercross World Championship. It's time to dive into the final moto.
Let's kudos to Iantasca for getting on a brand new boat. He said he got it 2 weeks ago. Come on, to the World Championships. He is really riding the fiberglass off of that. Watch him out there at the far side of the court as he makes the drive. And let's drop it down to Eileen.
Thanks, guys. Someone to watch out for this race is the Naples native, Arminio Iantasca. He's the reigning Pro Runabout box stock world champ, and he's actually fueled by the pizza parlor that's right down the street. He owns Mamma Mia's Pizza, and I don't know about you guys, but that's where I'm going to be headed at the end of the day. Back to you.
Great knowledge, Eileen. And you know what? We're going to be there with you.
If you haven't been to Mamma Mia's Pizza here in Naples, man, you're missing out. It is fantastic. And Iantasca, you know, what a great guy, great family. We have been friends with them, the entire family, for years and years. And yeah, Mamma Mia's is the place to go here in Naples, to say the least.
Well, you know what? He is a fan favorite here in Naples, obviously. I'll tell you what, though, the story of the day right now is Rashid Aldawas, the young man from Kuwait, who is having none of it. Look at Mac making a move, trying to make a pass.
And he's going around there working their way through the lap traffic right now. And he gets around 30. That was 30.
Yes,
the leader.
it was. They banged holes, too.
As I said earlier, when McCluggage is coming on the gas behind you, be careful, because this guy will not let off. He is absolutely tenacious, and he will take you out if necessary to get around. No question about that. He's done it before. He is not to be denied when he's out on the racetrack.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, watch them as they come around. McCluggage now out in front. Now, mathematically, there's no way that McCluggage is going to win the overall. No. The young rider from Kuwait is a little bit further back. I think Iantasca's in the catbird seat right now.
Iantasca's looking good, as is Brian Baldwin.
So if Iantasca...
He'll have
his
7.
He'd
have
1
3.
position ahead of Baldwin. He gets the overall.
This is going to be tight. We got a ways to go here, but this is going to be tight. McCluggage out in front now, number 46, the race leader. And here comes Iantasca. Both these riders out of Naples originally. Mac now living here right now, but originally from here. Grew up together, both families very, very close. And it is Iantasca trying to track down McCluggage. McCluggage having none of it out in front and charging on that 46. And here comes
Iantasca right behind McCluggage
with a charge going.
going on. You know, McCluggage, he was halfway raised at Mamma Mia's.
He was, definitely.
Yeah, no, seriously.
And no question about it. And he is...
Those two are battling.
Trying to keep his buddy, his lifelong friend, at bay right now. This is going to be interesting as Ian Tosca, number 4, really on the gas, working his way on the backside of the track, trying to track down the Mac Attack.
On a brand new boat in the top Pro-Am Runabout. There's almost impossible to bring a new boat out and ride it the way Arminio is doing it now.
Typically, it takes about a year of development on these boats to get them dialed into where they like them. But this new Sea-Doo is looking fast. 1 lap to go for Mac, 46, and Ian Tosca, number 4, in second.
Well, tell you what, Rick, look out on the track because right in front of McCluggage are about 4 or 5 lapped riders. This could be the opening that Arminio needs. Let's see what happens. Mac goes to the inside.
Well, Arminio as well also has to work through those same left riders, so that could be kind of an equalizer. Who knows here? That Sea-Doo, though, is looking good under Arminio Ian Tosca, that new 2021 Sea-Doo, really fast, but McCluggage, I don't know. Tough company out there.
So Arminio must have done the math because he followed McCluggage through here. The checkered flag coming out. Your moto winner, Chris McCluggage.
Here with Pro Runabout Box Stock World Champion Arminio Ian Tosca. Arminio, this is your 2nd title. What makes this one so much sweeter besides the champagne showers?
Yeah, you know, this one's really sweet. Sea-Doo just came out with the 2021 model, new RXPX. We had limited time to get it ready and to go out there and be really consistent. It performed the way it is. It has a really bright future, and I'm glad I can bring this, title home to Sea-Doo this year and show what the new ski can do.
And what you'll see later on in the show might have you flipping out of your seat. The freestyle competition still to come on the 2020 Liqui Pro Watercross World Championship.
So here we are in Naples. It's the World Championship every year. The place to be is right here. Pro Watercross is on a great event. Beautiful lake, great white sandy beaches, and it all comes down to this weekend.
But I love it because I can sleep in my own bed and only drive 10 minutes to get here. Plus my restaurant's here, so all the racers come, get their pizza, eat, and catch up for the year. And it's just, it's very relaxing to be in your hometown, on your home lake, so.
Welcome back to Naples, Florida, the Paradise Coast, where we bring you wall-to-wall coverage for the Liqui Pro Watercross World Championship. It's time to dive into the final moto. Let's take it up to the booth. Kurt and Rick.
Christian Daly, really the rider to watch in this pro sport stock class. He comes from Indiana, a long history of racing in his family. His dad, Derek Daly, one of the great car drivers in American history, and Christian Daly on that Sea-Doo HX is always a threat for a championship.
Devin Farthing comes from a racing family. His father, a multi-time world and national champion. He has been on the gas all year long, faster every time we see him. His equipment is spectacular. Devin Farthing could be your winner. Sport stock on the line, the fastest sport boats on the planet. This is the 3rd and final moto.
Well, keep an eye on Christian Daly. Christian on the inside. He has dominated so far today. Boat number 5, that Sea-Doo, and he gets a strong start out of the gate and into the first turn on the inside. Daly's going to take the lead.
On the outside, looks like the Farthing brothers as bookends. Devin on the inside, Talon on the outside. Devin definitely charging hard. Got somebody trying to make the sweep. They won't make it. Here comes Devin Farthing on the outside and Christian Daly on the inside, Rick.
Yeah, Devin definitely pulled the whole shot on the outside. Here he comes charging down the front straightaway. It's going to be Farthing, but it is all Christian Daly with the Davis Trailers whole shot. Man, what a great start again for Daly. And look out for the rest of the field, Kurt.
Well, I may be confused, but I believe that's Matt Johnson in the lead.
Was that Johnson on the
double nine?
Double nine. Let's double check that.
I believe that's Daly in 3rd position and Farthing in 2nd either way.
That is.
And here goes Devin Farthing using the inside, trying to chase down Matt Johnson. Matt Johnson on that double nine, been having a great rides all day. Farthing up and down day, always fast. He's in 2nd, having a battle battle, though, and Daly going to put the wood to it right now.
Well, they all go to the outside split on this one, and look at Daly now coming around. I was wondering if Farthing was going to be able to hold off Daly. Kevin is so fast on that blaster. He's looking over at Daly, and he's looking over his right shoulder. He looks over his left shoulder, and here comes Daly. Oh, man, what a battle.
I think Devin got a little bit of the scare there, and he may know the points going in as well.
Well, remember the last moto when Daly went around Devin. It was very fast and aggressive.
No question about it. But Devin's still out front. And you know, while we're talking about that, Matt Johnson quietly is distancing himself from second and third. Right now, Matt Johnson on a charge. He has 2 seconds, 2 and a first to be 5 overall. Daly with 2 first. He could finish back almost third place.
Yes.
And still with the overall. So Daly doesn't have to charge too hard.
Matt Johnson, number 99, looking good out in front.
Oh, yeah.
He's got Farthing behind him, charging in second. And then Daly, but you know, Johnson, 37 years old, out of Jacksonville, Florida, on that CBU HX with a second place finish in both the first and second motos. So he is in contention for the overall here. And he's looking good. Look at him go on that HX. Takes a quick look over his shoulder and to check the position of both Farthing and Daly. And he's in a good position right now with a sizable lead. Here comes Daly inside of Farthing.
Daly made the move on the back straightaway, and just by points, Farthing's completely out of it. There's no chance.
Yeah, Daly making the move around Farthing. Now he sets his sights on our race leader, Matt Johnson. Keep an eye on boat number 5, Christian Daly, making the turn onto the front straightaway. Here comes 99 in the lead.
Matt Johnson looked over his shoulder. You can see his eyes get large when he saw the number 5, a Christian Daly, multi-time champion, right behind him. Matt Johnson's riding the ride of his life right now. He got the whole shot. He's out in front. He's large and in charge. He's making decisions, and he's going to keep that lead as long as he can keep Christian Daly behind him. No easy job, Rick.
Yeah, well, you know, he is 37 years old, Matt Johnson is, and he's been around a long time, a lot of races under his belt, so he knows what the positions are, what the standings are. He has no doubt how fast Daly has been all day, and that he is going to have to ride the race of his life to keep Daly behind him. But here comes Daly, and I think it's going to be really tough for Matt Johnson to keep him behind him for another lap.
Well, Johnson just looked over his shoulder. He sees Daly right there. If it was me, I'd be nervous, but give it up for Matt Johnson. Yes. He's out in front, and until Daly gets by, it's his race to lose.
And when we come back, we'll finish the pro sport on the Lake Wamali Pro Watercross World Championship. Welcome back to Naples, Florida, the Paradise Coast, where we bring you wall-to-wall coverage at the Lake Wamali Pro Watercross World Championship. It's time to dive into the final moto.
And it is HX at the nose. Johnson and Daly going at it on the far left-hand side. Johnson's got the lead, but Daly is right there. Christian Daly setting up Matt Johnson. I don't think Matt knows where he's going. Well, Daly is going inside, outside. He keeps looking for him.
Yeah, he's going to know in just a couple of minutes because Christian Daly is closing the gap pretty quickly. But I'll give it to Matt Johnson. Kudos to him because the last 2 laps, he has really done a nice job of keeping Daly behind him about the same amount of space. But Daly's going to charge, and this is going to be a battle.
Let's go down to Eileen and see what she's got.
Thanks, guys. Something to remember is that on this course, those buoys are moving as these athletes are speeding through the water. However, they are on a lake and not an ocean, so it does make for a little bit more of an equal level playing field. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Eileen. Well, still on the track.
Yeah, Johnson continues to keep Daly behind him, which is no small feat, and they come up on lap traffic now. This could play a role as Johnson now has got to find his way around some lapped riders, and Daly is lurking right behind him, seeing if there's going to be a mistake, seeing if Johnson gets held up by lap traffic.
We got a rider off to the side there as our leaders go by.
Oh, and a mistake out on the track. Oh, that was Daly that spun out momentarily and allowed Johnson to scoot away. The first mistake we've seen all day by Christian Daly, and that has allowed Johnson to extend that lead. And, man, it's going to make it a little tougher on Daly if he wants a clean sweep here today.
No, Daly just made the pass.
That's a left rider.
That is a left rider. It's
Johnson still
That was Johnson making the pass. My bad.
Oh, and somebody going out to make up a miss buoy, and Daly goes into the lead. Johnson had to go make up a miss buoy, and Daly inherits the lead. And Farthing now jams into third place, and he is right behind Matt Johnson, looking to make a move on Johnson. Although in the overall scheme of things today, Farthing is not going to really figure, as he's had a rough day earlier in the motos.
Yeah, watch Matt Johnson as he is tearing up this track. He sets that boat. He's in a relaxed mode. Christian Daly, you see Daly standing. Daly standing almost the entire race. Johnson uses the seat. Daly uses it only to push his thighs against. He breaks that boat to things that other people just can't make an HX do, Rick.
Well, Daly is 23 years old. Johnson is 37 years old, and I'll take Daly's riding style over the two, just because standing up definitely allows you to keep better control of the watercraft. And what happens when you're standing is you don't get knocked around the watercraft as you do when you're sitting down. When you're sitting down, you get bounced around and can get knocked off. When you're standing up, you can absorb the bumps and you can absorb all the deflections and keep control of the boat a lot better.
Well, and one of the major benefits of standing is you lower the center of gravity, and that's a significant advantage. You know, all the weight is through your feet instead of up on the seat. You get to hold that thing wide open as the rains come to tell us.
Yeah, that's
we need to clean up the air.
Daly out in front and jamming. And he is in control. He has dominated the first two motos. Christian Daly, of course, his dad, Derek Daly, one of the great race car drivers in American history. Talked to him earlier today. Good to see him here. And his son, Christian Daly, a dominant rider in pro watercross in this sport class, as the heavens descend on Naples, Florida right now in the middle of this moto. Here we go. Daly out in front and charging. Boat number 5 in complete control of the sports stock class.
Yeah, the rain is going to affect these riders now. I saw a rider earlier drop his goggles, and he's going to be hating that now.
That's a mistake.
One lap to go. Your leader, Christian Daly, he has traffic in front of him. The rain is pouring down. It stings your skin like bees at this speed.
If you don't have your goggles on in the rain like this, you are going to get pelted in the eye. It's going to sting. At 50 miles an hour out there, 60 miles an hour, whatever. These boats more 50, 40, 50 at top speed. You get those raindrops right into your eyeballs, and it hurts, mightily, and you don't want that at all, to say the least.
Well, I can see Christian decided the way to take care of that is just finish the moto. Look at the speed, wide open on the back straight. That's the final time through. Daly taking the right, the left, 2 boats in front of him, 2 more buoys for a championship. Watch him as he makes the turn. Folks, give him some applause. Christian Daly, your new Pro Watercross World Champion.
We're in tech right now where all the boats are teched. I'm here with Sports Stock World Champion Christian Daly. Christian, what was your mindset going into today?
My mindset was just to focus on the process of winning, and that takes doing all the things right, one step at a time. Make sure the boat's got fuel in it, and the rest falls into place.
And still ahead, the most wild stunts you're going to see on a body of water, the freestyle competition at the Liqui Pro Watercross World Championship.
Liqui Pro Watercross World Championship, presented by Broward Motorsports on CBS Sports Network, is sponsored by Florida's Paradise Coast Naples, Marco Island Everglades. By Liqui, maintain your passion. And by Broward Motorsports, you've got a ride.
Welcome back to to Sugden Regional Park here in beautiful Naples, Florida at the 2020 Lake Wamali Pro Watercross World Championship. It's now time to find out a world champion in the final moto of Pro Ski GP. Guys, up to you.
Well, Pro Ski GP, you know, Matthew Ritchuk is a young rider that we've seen emerge over the last couple of years, and I think he's going to be a threat here today in that class.
I agree with you. He's solid, but the 44 of Camden Powell, that young man has been on a charge for the last couple of years. Spoke with his dad. We saw him earlier in the week, and I feel like I've got the pulse on this Pro Ski GP. I think it's got to be Camden Powell.
All right, Kurt, here we go, buddy, man. This is it.
Excited.
Moto number 3, and this is going to be it. Keep it. On the inside, Dustin Matsuris, boat number 50. He has dominated today. The first 2 motos, here we go. This is for all the marbles and the blood and the mud and the beer here in Naples. Here we go.
Whoa, Cam Newton throwing it down in front of Dustin Matsuris.
Oh, yeah.
Cam Newton with a whole shot. Number 44 is on fire. The young man from the Syracuse Mafia out front with a whole shot.
116 on the outside. Devin Farthing comes around in front of Matsuris. Can he make the pass, Dick? No, Mats is going to keep the throttle pin and says, no way, buddy. Here we go.
That was a WhatCon.com whole shot right there.
Yeah, oh man, Cam Powell with a brilliant hole shot, and look at him charge on the back part of the straightaway, and that number 44 bullet hole machine. He was a little disappointed in his first 2 finishes here earlier today in Motos 1 and 2, but now he is out in front and trying to show everybody what he can do on this bullet machine, and he is looking good. But here comes number 50, Dustin Matsuris on the charge behind him.
I'll tell you what, I was watching Cam at the break. He was talking to his dad, Derek Powell, longtime racer and multi-time champion, and I think he got his head on straight. Cam got the start, and I'm going to say right now, I don't think Mats gets by.
I tell you what, he was not riding like he is capable of in those first 2 motos, absolutely, but I might disagree with you. Now, One thing I'll say is Matsuris doesn't need to win here in moto number 3, but he is charging, and you know, Mats is a tenacious competitor, and I know regardless of anything, he wants to win, and here we go, left-hand side of the track. I'm going to take Matsuris.
Here's what I heard, blah, 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 Cam wins.
All right, here we go. On the front straightaway, number 44 and number 50 right behind him. 44, Cam Powell on the gas, the young rider out of Syracuse, Indiana, and he has got Dustin Matsuris behind him out of Epinyani, South Africa. Mats on the gas right now, trying to catch Cam Powell as they negotiate the log jumps.
I just want to throw this out there. I believe that's Louis Valet. A lapper went down. He's in front of Powell. That could hurt his chances, Louis. And Cam takes the opposite side.
Yes, he does.
And Dustin takes the outside behind the lap rider. I think that's going to work out well for
Camden. Here comes Dustin.
Camden Powell wide open, and he is starting to pull away from Dustin Matsuris.
Well, look at these 2 go at it right now. This is an awesome race we've got here in moto number 3. Dustin with wins in the first 2 motos, but it's Cam Powell out in front and charging. Bullet versus Commander. Well, right now, Bullet's out in front. Commander in second. Number 50, Matsuris. Let's see what he's got for Cam Powell, the young rider out of Syracuse, Indiana.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, we're talking about this very aggressively, but either one of those riders, you meet them in the pits, they're the nicest people. You get a powerful machine underneath them, put a starting line in, and look out, folks, all bets are off. Camden Powell is wide open, and this young man has got to be excited. A multi-time world champion behind him, arguably the fastest stand-up rider on the planet, and Camden Powell has kept him behind him for 2 laps now. No reason he can't keep it up. Let's watch a split course, Rick.
Yeah, Dustin Matsuris as fast as they come. You're absolutely right about that. And he is closing the gap now on Powell, but We got a ways to go. Cam Powell is riding the best race he's ridden in a while, and he is keeping Mott's behind him, and that is no small feat, as we know, because Mott's absolutely dominated Motos 1 and 2 earlier today, Kurt.
Well, I think the log jump may be the equalizer here. Dustin Matsura's been over it many times, and frankly, Cam Powell just popped over it.
Did you see him go over it right then? He didn't.
That's phenomenal.
He negotiated that like it wasn't even there. Never lost his drive. Kept that pump hooked up, and he is out in front right now and charging, Kurt.
Well, Matsouras has decided he's following. Wherever Camden Powell is going, Mats is putting the pressure on. Dustin Matsouras, he's been doing this a long time at the top of the heap. He's putting the pressure on the young man. He doesn't need to pass him. He wants to make him make a mistake. This could harden Camden Powell like steel on steel. Camden Powell out front having the ride of his life.
Oh man, Dustin Matsouras is really charging. And Powell, though, the young rider out of Syracuse, Indiana, he is looking so good on that 44 bullet. And just as I said that, Powell made a mistake and allowed Matsouras to gain just about a boat length right there. Here comes Matsouras on the charge.
Well, we got lapped riders in front of Camden. That's what's happening. They're wrapping up the water. He hit a little side wave he wasn't anticipating. He's taking the inside, lappers on the outside, and Dustin's going outside. Once again, Camden Powell getting the opportunity to stretch the lead if he can get that lapper between himself and Matsouras, and he did once again, Rick.
Oh, Matsouras just charging right now. He's got Powell in his gun sights. Here we go. This is going to be a battle. 44 and 50. Cam Powell, Dustin Matsouras going at it. Boy, the rain subsided here just in time for this Pro Ski GP third moto, and what a battle we're watching. This is one of the best I've seen in a while, with Powell getting out in front of Matsouras at the start and not letting Mats get by.
And look at the riders that Camden Powell and Dustin Matsouras are passing. Sammy Nemi, there's David Cabrera. Just go down the list. These two riders are wide open. Camden Powell, the young man, going to make that turn, make the decision on the back straightaway, and Matsouras follows.
What a battle. Let's go down to Eileen on the beach.
Thanks, guys. Physicality is so important in this sport. I talked to Dustin Matsouras earlier, and he told me that his training has actually been affected by the pandemic this year. So I asked him, what have you been doing instead? He said, I've been kicking it old school, meaning sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, and I think it's been working out for him. Guys, back to you.
Oh, and it's paying off right now because Matsouras is really closing the gap. He's dominated the first two motos cleanly, but right now, Cam Powell, man, he's keeping Mats at bay.
Rick Lake, I completely disagree. Cam Powell is riding strong out in front, and if he gets the opportunity to pull away from Matsouras, he's going to do it. I'm going to tell you, so much respect for Matsouras. He's going through that lap traffic like a hot knife through butter. Powell, when he gets an open field, he starts to extend from Matsouras just a little, not a lot. As you said, Dustin can hang back. He's got the overall either way.
Yes.
But Cam Powell is riding a race of his life. Dustin Matsouras trying to make a move. These two may be side by side as they go down the back straightaway. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Camden Powell once again, Rick.
Well, we know that Dustin Matsouras has the overall regardless here. He is in a perfect position to take the World Championship, no problem. He knows that. He's not going to do anything crazy to get by Powell, and he may not have to. He's going to have to, though, get up behind Powell and force Powell to make... Oh, and Powell makes an error right there. Here we go.
It's not enough.
Just as I was saying that, Powell made a mistake, allows Dustin to get a little closer. Powell may be starting to feel the pressure right now to keep Matsouras behind him.
Yeah, no question about it, Rick. You saw it right there. There was no reason for that. Camden had a lap of concentration for just a second. That's all it takes in pro watercross racing in a pro ski GP ride.
Well, for Cam Powell to keep Dustin Matsouras behind him in a world championship race like this is amazing. This is the ride of his life. Powell is riding for absolutely everything he's got, but yet here comes Mats. Mats is mistake-free, keeping the pressure on. Is Powell going to be able to not succumb to the pressure and make a mistake again?
Rick, let me just tell you, I hate to say this with my prediction, but I'm watching Camden Powell. He's getting tired. His elbows are starting to drop. His head's dropping down. He's got to have some excitement, you know, some adrenaline. I think if he sees the front of Matza's boat next to him, that might be enough to give him the adrenaline to finish this race. But right now, it's the old man, Dustin Matsuras, who's driving this train home.
Well, one way or the other, we are watching a phenomenal battle here out in front of this. Oh, and here comes Matsuras on the outside. Matsuras charging hard on the outside of Powell. Powell now keeping it pinned. Here they go. This is the battle. Powell spins out a little bit. Matsuras does as well. They both make a mistake. Powell recovers and keeps Matsuras behind him. Absolutely brilliant riding by young Camden Powell on that bullet boat right now. Powell on the gas. White flag out. 1 lap to go for Cam Powell.
Camden Powell taking the left off of the front straight. That's the adrenaline I was talking about, Rick. They touch. Look at Powell now. He's focused. He's over the front of the machine. Hold that throttle wide open. He has got a half a lap to go if he wants to beat a world champion. I'm telling you, he's not going to get the overall. This is just as good for a young man like Camden Powell.
This is a brilliant ride. This is the ride of Cam Powell's life
Watch
right
this
here.
split, Rick. Sorry, don't mean to go over you.
No, this is going to tell the tale right here on that back straightaway. And here comes Matsuras. Matsuras charging hard, boat number 50. Is he going to have enough to...
No!
He's in. Is Powell going to shut the door? Powell shuts the door. One more. Oh, Mats on the inside. It's Matsuras, number 50, getting around Powell on the last lap. 3 buoys to go. Dustin Matsuras proves why he is a multiple world and national champion and takes the win. Amazing battle. Dustin Matsuras, the world champion. Here we go. This is for all the marbles and the blood and the mud and the beer here in Naples. But here comes number 50, Dustin Matsuras on the charge behind him. Well, look at these two go at it right now. This is an awesome race we've got here in moto number 3. Matsuras charging hard on the outside of Powell. Powell now keeping it pinned. Here they go. This is the battle. Powell spins out a little bit. Matsuras does as well. They both make a mistake. Powell recovers and keeps Matsuras behind him. Oh, Mats on the inside. It's Matsuras, number 50, getting around Powell on the last lap. 3 buoys to go. Dustin Matsuras proves why he is a multiple world and national champion and takes the win. Amazing battle. Dustin Matsuras, the world champion.
I'm here with Pro Ski GP world champ Dustin Matsuras. Dustin, this is a 4-peat for you. How are you able to be so successful?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of hard work. My team over at Command Industries, everybody that puts all the work into my GP1, Rockstar Energy Drink, Jet Pilot, all the guys that back us. It's definitely a team effort. So I get to pilot that GP1 around, but it's all the work behind the scenes that gets me here. And without those guys, honestly, I couldn't do it. So thanks to my whole team, thanks to all the sponsors, thanks to ProWatercross for putting on this awesome event, and Liquimali, and just excited to be racing, and just ready for the next one already.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And what you've been waiting for all show long, the freestyle competition at the Liquimali Pro Watercross World Championship. Let's do this. The Liquimali Pro Watercross World Championship. For more watercross action, visit ProWatercross.com. For Clark, Rick, and myself, Eileen, we'll see you next time on CBS Sports Network, your 24-hour home for sports.